Welcome to the Yoga Barn Retreat. I'm Claire and today we're going to do some gentle stretches. This is going to be perfect for when you wake up in the morning and you just want to stretch out before the start of your day. It's going to allow you to continue the day in a much more positive way. So please come to your mat, sit on a cushion if you need to, sit on a block and get nice and comfortable, either in a comfortable cross-legged position, or you can have your legs out nice and wide, or you can come into a nice hero's pose with the knees in front and the feet to the side, whatever feels good for you. I'm going to start off in a comfortable seat, cross-legged today, just allowing the palms of my hands to face up towards the sky and resting the backs of the hands onto the knees. Just start to relax your body, so shoulders just rolling back and down towards your mat, creating some nice space from your ears to your shoulders. And I'd like you to imagine your tailbone, the very base of your spine, is like an anchor and it's anchoring down into the seat, into the earth, giving you that support and the balance that you need. Maybe you've had a really busy week, maybe the mind's fluctuating with lots of different thoughts and you just want to ground yourself down. So bringing that tailbone down, imagining you've almost got a cord above the crown of your head and somebody is pulling that cord. So you're going to start to lengthen up through your spine. So begin from the base of the spine where that anchor is lying, and then create some space from the base of the spine to the pelvis, and then create space from the pelvis to the lower rib cage. So really maybe push the chest forward, the belly forward, lengthening up. Maybe you need to just move the spine a little bit from side to side to create that length. Now, if you suffer from scoliosis, this isn't going to be the case because the spine goes around this way to the side. So just find whatever feels good for you. If you don't suffer from scoliosis, then I want you to try and lengthen that spine up. So you're going to lengthen up now from the chest, so pushing the chest forward, drawing the shoulders back, lengthening through the cervical spine at the back of the neck and then all the way up through the crown of the head. So you're sitting really tall, imagining the back is nice and straight here. As the shoulders soften through the fingertips. Draw the belly button in slightly towards the spine now and just allow the body to relax. Bringing the belly button into the spine will help to support the lower back in the lumbar spine. Just allowing your body to relax. Then we're just going to start off with some nice gentle neck circles. So bringing the chin down into the chest. Before we start to circle the neck, I want you to allow the head to feel really heavy so that the chin is really drawing down into the chest and you're feeling a stretch just at the back of the neck to begin with. Keep the shoulders really soft. And just close off your eyes here and focus on your breath. Breathing in and out through your nose. Allowing your breath to slow down and to soften. And if you are aware of the Ujjayi breath, which is in another of my programs, then please arrive at that Ujjayi breath, restricting the back of the throat slightly, creating that audible sound of the ocean. Gently in and out. And as you inhale the breath, I'd like you to bring the head over to the right shoulder and then raise it all the way up to the ceiling. Overhead, rainbowing overhead, and exhale the breath as you release the head gently back down to the left shoulder and then arriving with the chin to the chest. And again, keep circling, slow, steady motions. Try not to be jerky with your neck. Keeping smooth and steady. Inhaling up and exhaling down. When the chin arrives at the chest, let's go the opposite way. Inhaling, raising up to the left side, all the way over, rainbow overhead. And then gently over to the right side. Chin to chest, and one more time. And don't worry if you hear crunching, crackling of the back of the neck. This is you just releasing all that tension. The shoulders will want to rise up, so just keep pushing them down towards the mat. When the chin arrives in the chest, hold it here. Focus back on the breath. Inhaling and exhaling, slowly, steadily, with the lips closed. This time you're going to inhale the breath, raise the head all the way up to the centre. I'm going to start to work through the shoulders now, so bringing the hands onto the shoulders. I'd like you to inhale the breath, bring the elbows in front of you, connecting together, raising on up. Bring the elbows out wide, connect the wrists behind the head, and exhale the breath, squeeze those shoulder blades down, elbows drawing all the way down towards the hips. And again, let's inhale, open, connect the wrists without moving the head, and exhale all the way down. And again, inhale, lift, open, connect wrists, and exhale, release all the way down. Let's go the opposite way. Inhale, elbows back, raising on up, wrists connect behind the head without moving the head. Exhale, elbows in front and down. And again, inhale, lift, exhale down, and release the shoulders. Just give them a little circle backwards. No tension in the hands or the wrists here. Lovely. And relax. Bring the arms out wide, palms facing forward. Let's take a deep inhale. Arms raising up, press palms and gaze up. And exhale, release the arms all the way out to the side like you're having a lovely morning stretch. And again, inhale, raise arms, press palms, gaze up. Try to relax the rest of the body. Exhale, release the hands down. This time we're going to inhale, raise arms, press palms, gaze up. And exhale, rotate over to the right side. Left hand on right knee, right hand behind the right sit bone, fingers facing away. Inhale the breath, raise on up through your torso. Ground down with the tailbone, lift through the crown of the head. And exhale the breath, rotate the head over your right shoulder. Allow the body to relax and use your breath with a subtle movement as you inhale to lengthen, creating space, and exhale to soften the body, let go of any tension, relaxing it out, and seeing if the head will naturally move to the back of the room. Keep breathing here, slow and steady, always being aware of your body, feeling where you're stretching, feeling where you're opening up. Try to push that right shoulder a little further to the back of the room. Let's inhale the breath. And now exhale the breath, keeping hands in position, bringing the head all the way back to centre. I'm going to slowly float the left ear to the left shoulder, feeling that stretch in the right shoulder. Breathing here. Inhale the breath. Exhale the breath to soften the body. Trying to float that left ear a little closer to the shoulder. Relax both shoulders down towards the mat. And now slowly bring the chin a fraction up towards the ceiling, stretching through the front right side of the neck now. Relax your jaw. Just give yourself a little smile and release. That really helps to relax the jaw here. Breathing slowly and steadily. Remember, the quality of your breath equals the quality of your mind. The slower and the steadier the breath, the stiller your mind will become. Inhale the breath and gently exhale the breath and release. Lovely. We're going to bring the left hand to the left side of the mat, fingers facing the left side of the mat, palms pressing down. Let's inhale the breath, raising the right arm up to the ceiling, and exhale the breath, bring the right arm over the head, bending that left elbow. See if you can maybe come down onto the left forearm. Using that elbow to push the right sit bone down into the mat, keeping it nice and connected. Gazing up at the ceiling. Try to bring your arm as far back as you can. If it's forward, you're not stretching out as much through the waist, through the hips, but remembering that yoga is about you and your body, so only do what is available to you. Only do what feels good for you. And if anything feels uncomfortable, draw back, because there should be no pain in yoga. Let's inhale as we reach our fingertips a little further over to the left side, and exhale breath, push all the way back to center. Let's inhale, raise arms, press palms, gaze up, and exhale, release the hands out to the side. Inhale, raise arms, press palms, gaze up, and exhale, rotate around to the left. Left hand behind left sit bone, palm facing down, and fingers behind you, right hand on the left knee. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, rotate the head around to the left shoulder. Inhale, create space, lift and lengthen. Exhale, relax your body, relax all the muscles, and allow the head to naturally draw towards the back of the room without force. Soften both of your shoulders and just breathe here, slowly and steadily. Inhaling in through the nose, exhaling out of the nose. This time I want you to inhale the breath, keep the hands in position, bring the head back to center, chest back to center, and bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Breathing here, relaxing both shoulders down towards the mat, stretching out through the neck. Inhaling, exhaling to soften. Just begin to look up a fraction, lifting the chin, stretching through the front left side of the neck. Breathing here, inhale and exhale. Wonderful. Bring that head back to center now. Bring the right hand to the right side of the mat, next to your right hip. Spread the fingers wide, press the palm down, and let's inhale, raise the left arm up to the ceiling. Exhale the breath, reach the left arm all the way over the head. So the right ear is melting down towards the right shoulder. Gazing up at the left arm, try to bring that left arm as far back as it will go. Feeling the stretch all the way down from the armpit, through the rib cage, down through the waist and into that left hip. Now, feel free if you want to use the forearm to come down to the mat if that's available to you. If it's not and you still want to try and reach down, you can always bring your arms onto a block. Reaching over, staying fully connected with your seat into the mat. Inhale the breath, reach those fingertips as far as they will go, and exhale, come all the way back to center. Let's do a little seated cat-cow now. I'd like you to round your shoulders, bring the chin to the chest, and tuck your tailbone all the way under so you feel a stretch through your back. And then inhale the breath, push the chest forward, lift the head up, draw the shoulders back, and draw the tailbone towards the back of the room. Lovely. Exhale the breath, round, chin to chest, tailbone tucking under, rounding through the shoulders. And inhale, tailbone draws back, head is lifted, chest is drawing up towards the sky, shoulders are back. Lovely, one more time. Exhale the breath and round in our seated cat. Inhale, lift and open in our seated cow, and come all the way to the center. I'd like you now to keep your legs crossed if you're able to, and see if you can bring the weight forward. So bring the hands onto the mat, uncrossing the legs here, bringing the knees nice and wide and the big toes to touch. If that's not possible, just bring the legs around to the side and come into this tabletop position, but with knees as wide as the mat and big toes connecting. I'd like you to make sure that your shoulders are directly over the top of your wrists, that your palms are pressing down, and press into your fingertips. Spread the fingers really wide, and with the crown of your head just coming forward. We're going to stretch out still through the shoulders, but really opening up through the chest now. In your tabletop position, make sure that your tailbone is slightly tucked under. You want a nice flat back here. We're going to press down with the left hand, and let's inhale the breath as you raise the right arm up to the ceiling. Palm is facing forward. Keep the fingers spread nice and wide. Opening up through the shoulders, opening up through the chest, and breathing here. Keeping that left shoulder directly over the top of the left wrist. As you inhale the breath, reach your fingertips up with purpose towards the sky. And as you exhale, soften the body, relax the shoulders. Let's inhale the breath, reaching the fingertips up. And now exhale, float the right hand down to the mat. Turn the palm to face up and feed it underneath the left arm. And feed it all the way along the mat until you can't go any further, and relax your right shoulder down. Relax your right cheek down into the mat and inhale, raise your left arm up to the sky, palm facing the top of the mat. Inhale the breath, reach those fingers up. If that's not possible for you, you can bring that left hand behind your back, palm facing away, seeing if you can grab hold of your right thigh or just go as far as is comfortable for you. Inhale the breath, try and push that left shoulder back. And now exhale the breath, let's bring that left hand back down to the mat next to your cheek. Inhale, lift the right cheek off the mat, slide the right hand across the mat and raise it back up towards the sky. Lovely. Inhale and reach, and exhale, float it down. Let's do the same on the other side. Pressing the right hand down, shoulder over the wrist. Let's inhale the breath, raise the left hand up to the ceiling, palm facing forward, spread those fingers. Exhale the breath slowly. Stay with your breath. Remember, it controls that mind chatter. Let go. Inhale to reach and exhale to soften. Inhale to reach and exhale. Let's float that left hand down to the mat. Turn the palm to face upright. Slide that left arm underneath the right as far as it will go, and rest the left cheek, the left shoulder on the mat, and inhale the breath. Raise the right arm up to the ceiling, palm facing the front of the mat. Inhale to reach and exhale to float all the way down to the mat next to your cheek. Inhale, lift your cheek, slide the left arm across and up to the ceiling, and exhale, float the hand all the way back down to the mat. Wonderful. Let's bring those knees underneath the hips. So when we say the hips, we're talking about the hip bones at the front, not those at the side. As women have bigger hips at the side, and that's not where we want to be. We want to be at the hip bones. So coming into a full tabletop position, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, making sure that the shins are parallel, and point the toes and press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Lovely. From here, we're going to come to our full cat-cow pose now. So I'd like you to take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale the breath, tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin into your chest, look down your nose at your heart, push down with your hands and feel like you're pulling the mat apart. And now inhale, lift the head, lift the tailbone, dip the belly, lift the chest, look on up to the ceiling. And now exhale, arch and round, chin to chest, tailbone tucking under in cat pose. And inhale the breath, dip the belly, lift the head, lift the chest, lift the tailbone. In cow pose, bring the weight a little bit further forward. And again, exhale the breath, arch and round. Inhale, dip the belly, lift the head, lift the tailbone, lift the chest. And come all the way back to a nice neutral position. We're going to stretch out even more through the shoulders now. I'd like you to make sure that the knees are in the center part of your mat. Nice and parallel, knees in line with hips. This time we're going to bring the hands to the front corners of the mat here. Keep the bottom nice and high and gaze forward. I'd like you to inhale the breath now, nice and deeply through the nose. And as you exhale the breath, you're going to melt the chest down, keeping the arms really straight. Not letting the elbows fall to the mat. We're literally melting down with the heart. Chest is drawing down in our puppy dog pose. Seeing if we can stay gazing forward and resting the chin on the mat. And if that's not comfortable for you, get a block or a cushion, rest your chin on that. And if it's still uncomfortable in the neck, just rest the forehead down into the mat. Breathing here. From here, we're going to take a nice inhale of breath. And as you exhale, keeping the arms in position, Tuck your tailbone as if you were doing cat pose. Tuck it under and bring the chin to the chest. Keep the arms in position. And inhale, let's draw the tailbone back up, melt the chest. Keep the head lifted, lovely. Exhale the breath, tailbone draws down, chin to chest. Inhale the breath. You can stop anytime you need to by coming into a little child's pose, which we're going to do in just a minute, where you rest the heels, the sit bones down to the heels. Just keep moving here. And inhale the breath, lovely. And now let's slowly start to bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. We're going to come into that child's pose. So bring the knees nice and wide, big toes to connect again, and bring the sit bones down to the heels. You can either come into extended child's pose with your arms out in front, this time resting the elbows, melting the forehead down, and literally soften every part of your body and let go. Slowly inhaling and exhaling. If you prefer to, you can bring your arms behind you, palms facing up, resting the forehead down. Allow the body to relax. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Feel like the muscles of your body are melting and dissolving down into your mat, but at the same time with a lovely gentle stretch through the spine. Wonderful. Let's start to inhale the breath as we bring the hands back under the shoulders, lift up the head, lift up the chest, and bring our shoulders back over the top of the wrists, the knees underneath the hips. We're going to do a little circling of the hips now. So I'd like you to bring the hips over to the right side, and then the pelvis forward, hips over to the left, and sit bones back. So nice circles. You can start small and gradually get bigger. And then I want you to connect your breath. As you bring the tailbone back, you're exhaling the breath. And as you bring it to the right and in front, you're inhaling, lifting up the chest. Exhale, nice big circles here. So you're moving through the joints of the shoulders, you're moving through the hips. Bringing lots of mobility into the body. And then let's go the opposite way. Exhale as sit bones come back, and inhale as the pelvis comes forward. And if you want to move it up a notch, you can do a little figure of 8. So halfway, come across, and then forward. And that's really going to move those hips nicely. Lots of lovely stretches here. And as you bring the body weight forward, you can stretch into those hands as well, stretching through the fingers. And come all the way back to center. Let's curl those toes now. Let's start to stretch out through the feet, stretch out through the toes. Spread the toes nice and wide, bringing the heels onto the sit bones onto the heels. Bringing hands just in prayer at heart center, resting the thumbs in the sternum. We're just going to start to rock slowly from right to left. Feeling that lovely stretch through the toes, making sure all the toes are curled under, stretching through the back of the feet. We're on our feet so much, but we really don't take attention or pay attention to our feet. We pay attention to our toenails, as women often, but not actually to our feet. So a lovely bit of reflexology, lovely bit of movement in this way, helping to stretch it, open up, and a lovely ball under the arch of the foot is nice as well to massage through the foot. Wonderful. And from here, let's bring the shoulders back over the top of the wrist. I'd like you to bring the left knee underneath the left hip and extend the right leg behind, curling the toes of the right foot and uncurling the toes of the left leg. Let's start to bring the weight forward now. So we inhale, we're going to lift forward, shoulders coming into the fingers. And then exhale, push the weight back as you push the heel back. Stretching out through the hamstring, through the calf. Inhale, coming onto the toes. Body weight forward, exhale, heels pushing back. This time we're going to inhale, come onto the toes of that right foot, body weight coming forward. And as you exhale and press back, I want you to lift your left knee, chin to chest. And slowly release the knee. Inhale, come onto the toes. And exhale, push the right heel back. Lift the left knee, chin to chest. Keep the left foot on the mat. And one more time. Inhale, forward, onto the toes. And exhale, push the right heel back. Lift the left knee. Bring the chin to the chest. Hold and breathe here. Deep inhale. Press into the fingers. And deep exhale, stretching out through that right calf. Lovely. And inhale the breath, coming forward, and exhale the breath, drop that left knee. Let's bring the right knee back to the mat, and we're going to do the same on the left side. So extending the left leg behind you, curl the toes of the left foot, making sure the right hip is over the top of the right knee and the right foot is uncurled. Let's inhale the breath, bringing the body weight forward, coming onto the toes of the left foot, and exhale the breath, pushing that left heel all the way back. Nice gentle stretch through the legs. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. This time we're going to inhale, press the weight into the fingertips as well, take away from the wrists, and exhale the breath, push the heel back, lift the right knee, chin to chest. And again, inhale, bring the body weight forward onto the toes of the left foot, and exhale, push the left heel back, lift the right knee, bring the chin to the chest. One more time, inhale, coming forward, and exhale, pushing back, lifting that knee, hold and breathe here. Look down your nose at your heart, press into those fingertips, and then slowly inhale, coming forward, releasing the right knee down, releasing the left knee down. Just bring the sit bones onto the heels. We're going to bring our hands to interlace with one another and just start to circle through those wrists. We've put some tension on the wrists and now we just want to release them. So keeping all of the movement in the wrist rather than in the shoulders. And going the opposite way, and then giving your hands a good old shake out. So our final stretch of the day is going to be our downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So to come here, I'd like you to bring the shoulders over the wrists once more. The knees are under the hips, but now I want you to step the knees a little bit further back and curl your toes underneath you. The gaze is forward. The important thing when we're putting weight into the hands is making sure that you have a strong arm, and in order to get a strong arm you need to make sure these elbow creases, I like to think of having eyes in our elbow creases, so we've got the back of the elbow and then we've got the elbow crease. So bringing those elbow creases to face the front of the mat, that's external rotation of the inner arms. That gives you a nice strong arm, making sure the shoulders are directly over the wrists. The more you come back to start with, it's going to put more pressure, because as we lift up, we're going to put all the weight into our hips and our seat. So I'd like you to take a nice deep breath in through your nose and a deep breath out through the nose. Inhale the breath, lift the knees, draw the belly button to the spine and up to the heart. You're activating the core, and then exhale the breath, push all the weight back and up into the hips, straightening the legs if you're able, bring the chin to the chest and bring equal amount of weight into the hands. Hold here. Let's just pedal out the feet or walk the dog here. So bending one knee, pushing the other heel into the mat. Nice and steadily. Using that breath, inhaling one way, exhaling the other way, trying to get that heel into the mat. Really putting all that weight into your hip and taking away the tension from the wrist by pressing those fingers down as well. Keeping those elbow creases forward. When you're ready, just allow both heels to come back to the mat, and if they're nowhere near the mat, that's okay. You can bring blocks behind your heels or a little cushion. The important thing is that the inner arms are externally rotating, so the elbow creases are forward, those eyes are facing the front of the mat, but the inner thighs are internally rotating. so that they're facing the back of the room, but keeping the feet nice and still, toes pointing forward, heels pointing back. And you have a lovely downward facing dog here, Adho Mukha Svanasana, where you're stretching out through the whole back part of the body, melting the chest down, and you can always sway your hips here from side to side, getting used to this position. This is actually a standing resting position because we are on our feet, and it might not feel comfortable to begin with, but the more you do it, the more it will feel like the most beautiful stretch. And our final stretch of today. So take a deep inhale, let's lift onto the toes, arch the spine, bring the shoulders over the wrists, and then exhale the breath, drop the knees, drop the chest and the chin, release the legs behind you, and let's just do one little inhale into a baby cobra, no weight in the hands here, using only the muscles of the back. And now exhale the breath, push up with the hands, and let's bring those sit bones all the way back, resting the elbows as we come back into our child's pose, our resting posture. Allowing the body to relax. Just focusing on slowing your breath down. I want you to bring your awareness back to yourself. Noticing how you feel right now. Maybe you can feel this lovely pulsating sensations and swirling through the body, and this is your energy. This is what we call prana. This is our life force that energizes our body, that brings positivity into our body, that brings space into the body. Focus on that connection, noticing it, notice where you feel it. Slow the breath down, deepening the breath. Bringing gratitude to all that you have, even in the most challenging of times. Gratitude to all that you are. And finally, let's inhale the breath, lift up the head, lift up the chest, lift up the torso, bring the hands to prayer. And I want to thank you for joining me today for a lovely body stretch. Until the next time, namaste. If you've enjoyed the session today, please subscribe or please join me on my website, or you can join me here in the Yoga Barn Retreat, where I offer retreats and I offer live yoga and breathwork and meditation as well. Until the next time, thank you.